Alright folks, third league of the day. Playing some RB Reclamation. Trying out a couple of cards. Trying out Spirit of the Labyrinth. I'm not sure whether I like it or not just yet. But there's really only one way to find out, right? Like, it seems good against the combo decks. Scrug. Like, this hand is interactive, but there's like plenty of matchups against which this hand doesn't do anything. I think I would feel a lot more comfortable if we had two explorers and one path instead of one path and two paths and one explorer, but I think it's still okay. Giver of Rooms. So you go on to draw. Okay, so this is probably the Heliod deck. Or your champion, not too scared of it. How has Oof felt? Okay. Speaking of okay. This is a nice turn even to use the apparition, because like I'm not doing really anything else with my mana. Hopefully I don't play a Heliod. That would suck. Yep, as I said, that would suck. So we have to take it slow now. So we're gonna play a Canopy, and I guess that their life total matters a lot more than mine. So I'm gonna actually attack. What is this, their own operation? Wow, this is actually great for me. Because now in response to the life gain, I can path the Heliod. Awesome. Now we got rid of that problem. Here's Titan. It's possible I should be killing the Yorion champion. It seems so bad to kill the champion though. I might have to eventually, which kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't think that was a good play for my opponent to operation my operation. Like, it's not like they gained anything at all. This Yorion champion is kind of annoying though, because it means that my opponent can actually combo off from a very low base. And this forces their hand though. And this fetch land effectively guarantees that I at least get a couple of Valaka triggers, if that, because they can. Yeah, so now they can find apparition off of their Coco. That's probably fine. Yeah, that was a great draw for sure. So they're gonna Coco now before I have the Valakuts, which is correct for them. They're looking for another apparition. Ranger Captain means that I can't die, and since I can't die, I think that I'm just gonna win. Yeah. Not dying effectively equals winning here. We're gonna have to be careful how we stack our triggers though. So yes, we're gonna do Valakut, Valakut. And we want all of the field triggers to resolve last, so my opponent doesn't gain any unnecessary life. Kill there, kill there, kill there, and kill there. Oh, I guess that I did stack those wrong, so I gave my opponent 1 life for no reason. It doesn't matter. Stuff is delivered. Fluxus, so it's very nice to see. Oh, awesome. Aggro them. Appreciate it. Glad that you got your cards. It's a great deck. Because I don't really want Knight of Autumn. Knight of Autumn can go. And I guess Mind Sensor can go too. We want all the bats, we want the calls, we want the reclaimers. I've been seeing some lists that in post-Cyber the games they go up to 4 apparitions and 4 Path to Exiles. That's really scary. That is really fucking scary. Cut a couple of explorers. Maybe cutting a Titan is also a possibility to prevent this kind of stuff. It's okay though. I think I'm supposed to keep this though. What do I think of playing 1-turn Teamer instead of Explorer? I mean, I don't know why you would think one or the other when they are completely different cards, right? They are significantly different cards that do kind of very different things. So I don't think I would compare one to the other. Actually, that might have been wrong. Maybe I should. I think I was supposed to explore and play this. That's kind of fine. Luminar Casperant. I wonder why people are playing with this card now. Yeah, I punted. Let's play that one. Skirt Plains. I'm not getting comboed, so I have no rush to call for Limbala. And if my opponent doesn't have another apparition, then this Titan is potentially lethal. I mean, when I say potentially, of course, I mean effectively lethal. That's what I'm trying to say. Do you think Amulet is dead right now? Like, Midrange is much better? I mean, as far as how well positioned they are in the current metagame, yes, I think so. And that is such a brutal draw. Wow. Oof. Big oof. Okay, so we're just gonna have to call for Druid. Plains and Forest. And I guess I want to play around my... No, I don't think I can play around removal. So if my opponent has removal for the Florahedron, I think that's that. Oh, we can Vesuva! Oh, you're right! We can choose... Oh yeah, I totally fucked that up. That's right. That's like the super narrow interaction. Yeah, that's the super narrow interaction. Wow, that's right. Wow, I super fucked up there. Yeah, if it comes into play and you choose for it to not copy anything, Vesuva actually represents. Vesuva actually enters untapped. Yeah, that was a huge punt. Wow. Huge mistake. I totally forgot about that. If it doesn't copy anything, it enters untapped. I think I'm supposed to get Blast Zone, I guess. Because otherwise the giver kills me. Because right now they can't set up lethal. Because they can only give this guy protection from black or green. But not both. It's okay, you still love me. Thank you, Stabs. Yeah, that was a huge mistake. It's funny how I've written about this so many times. Like, I've talked about this when I did the Mystifying series. I talked about this when I did, like, my earlier Cyber Guides. And then I literally just completely blanked about it. Brutal. I played myself. 1, 2, 3, crack. 3, crack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my opponent's gonna say tap the 2-turn lethal. Give that pro green. Makes sense. Don't play Heliod. Don't do it. Okay, that guy's fine. We can also just stop the Kid Riot or the other thing, the call. Oh, we just win. Opponent cast, no creature spells. Okay. Oh, we're killing this, yeah, so this doesn't matter. So we actually can attack. I was thinking that we can attack because otherwise my opponent just kills this with the ballista and then they swing, but that's just not true. So let's do Valakut and Sanctuary. Sure. And I think I'm going to bounce the Sanctuary itself. Rough. Rough, 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 rough. That's exactly lethal. Actually, it's not. Because now the green dude can block because they didn't kill it. Green dude, do your thing. Dryad. Not Dryad. I don't think we are in good shape still. Heliod represents us probably dying. In fact, I am actually consider failing to find here just so my opponent's dudes don't grow. We probably have to do it now, though. And at that point, we're drawing towards... Now we're just drawing towards exactly... And we lose to a land, by the way, right? We lose to any untapped land because the Ballista plus Heliod, the Ballista triggers the Yorion champion. Oh, never mind. No, we're actually... No, yeah, they need to draw land, yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, if I had played the Vesuva untapped when I had the chance, I think we win this. Can't be too upset at being punished for my mistakes, though. Can't be too upset at being punished for my mistakes. So many counters. So many counters. Very poorly played game. Very poorly played game on my part. This hand is kind of okay. No reason to expose the oof just yet. I think I'm just gonna call for a Dryad. Sweet. Which I think is the hardest deck in Modern right now. You mean like the hardest deck to play? I don't know. It's a good question. So that's gonna become a 2/2. That's I think that's correct. Because they gain the life first. It seems to me like that's fine. So they need an apparition. I guess they can Coco into the combo. Okay. Sack this. Get flagstones. Sack this. Yes. Sacred Foundry. I'm gonna get Valakut. Always yes, always healed. And fetch. Kill that one. I was gonna hold on to the Windswept Heath just in case like they have a company or something. Battle of Wits Lutri Storm is the hardest deck. That is one of my favorite sentences I have ever heard. I think I'm gonna keep this hand. Like, it's actually low-key pretty good because of Druid. Like, the fact that we have Druid in our deck makes this hand kind of okay. The fact that we're playing against a Mystic Sanctuary makes this hand now terrible, but... Oh, the F6 for the return. Well, I guess that's how we win this. Yikes. Sure. We have to try hard to convince people to unban Hogak? Yeah, totally. Look at that Mystic Sanctuary mana base. Have you ever seen a better Mystic Sanctuary Cryptic Command mana base? I dare you to find a better Mystic Sanctuary Cryptic Command mana base than that one. Forest and Plains. Get Sacred Foundry. Play Florahedron. So you go. Hardest deck is Hard and Scales. Wow. My opponent just pushed my Streambloom Druid. The hardest deck in Modern? I think it's probably some of the control decks. The way that I see it, like the What's hard in Magic is when you have to make a lot of decisions turn after turn, and you need to like stay focused to make sure that you make the best possible decision at every point in the game. That is really hard to do consistently. Definitely not gonna path this with a trigger on the stack or anything like that. I don't think that's a very good strategy against the Field of the Dead deck. Ghost Quarter. My opponent is totally playing Life from the Loam over there. They are totally playing Loam. Titan? Titan? Well, Titan? I mean, technically, I guess. So we path, okay, so I guess we have to play the castle here to play around Mana Leak. Oh wow, that's awesome. Man, we're 1 minute off, but I think we have to do this now. Top deck Thoughtseize, is that what's gonna happen here? No, top deck land, okay. If my opponent's playing Loam, that honestly would be kind of hype. I don't think I'm pathing just yet. Play around Leak. Well, that's not resolved. Not messing around. I doubt that they have any kind of counter magic. Oh, a sweeper, sorry. They definitely have counter magic. Okay. We're gonna get to play our Boils, chat. We're gonna get to play Boil. That's so sick. Okay, so these, we definitely want Excavator. Maybe we don't want Path. Radiant Fountain can go. We got one operation, maybe two operations. Maybe two operations. Gasur99, thank you for the follow. How come I didn't call for Titan with the first call? Good question, because I was trying to play. First of all, I didn't know what my opponent was playing, and second of all, I wanted to get value off of Field of the Dead. Usually, Field of the Dead is pretty solid against control decks game one. So my fastest path towards Field of the Dead was the Druid. Also, the Druid is something that if my opponent were to answer, I don't really care too much. So there were actually multiple layers of thoughts right there. I think I'm gonna play a Reclaimer here. It forces my opponent to do something. And they can't like snap decay, so there's no real reason for me to be playing the Relic. Life from the Loam for Delta. You got it. Push. My brother's deck sounds fun. Not sure how good it actually is, but it does sound pretty fun. I would not be upset to be doing the stuff that my opponent is doing right now, basically. On the other hand, look at how many line drops I'm hitting. Fourth. Gust plus push versus the rest. Or just Gust. Gust plus Remand versus the rest. And then I crack the Relic. My opponent doesn't have 3 islands, so they can't Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, so let's do this. They're probably gonna take Gust and Remand, and then I can just pop the Relic. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like my opponent's just on a brew. It seems cool though. Like they're doing some interesting stuff. Fact or Fiction definitely is pretty high up the list of some of my favorite cards to cast. Go fall fused. All the hits. Cryptic. So now they have to gust the Reclaimer, but they also have to gust the Titan because I have the Cavernous Souls. And if they don't gust the Reclaimer, then we just start doing Field of the Dead things. So let's start there. It's pretty unfortunate that this is our last fetchable for... what's his name? How do we beat fast decks like Prowess? You try to play a little bit more of a control game, basically. Yeah. that wasn't the best Assassin's Trophy I've ever seen. That was not the most impressive Assassin's Trophy I've ever seen. Now they gust, so they have used this. So let's put that guy on top. Can we give a medal to that Raminab? Yeah, Raminab just doing the Lord's work here, you know. Oh wow. Fuck yeah. Opponent? Opponent? My opponent has a dream. And they're living it, you know? My opponent has a dream and they are living it. That's all that I can say. They have a dream and they're living it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's do Field of the Dead plus Blast Zone. Let's play this, copying Field of the Dead. Let's get in there with the Sambo. Cryptic or Nexus or Bust. Wow, they have the Nexus. Okay. So here comes Ashiok, which means that I'm gonna have to activate Reclaimer in response. You might notice, like, when my opponent trophied me, I failed to find. It was precisely for this. Like, I'd rather have access to these triggers. So I'm gonna sack this. And I think let's get Ghost Squatter here. Ghost Squatter prevents the Cryptic Lock, even though my opponent is kind of far from assembling it just yet. But I can always get Bog later. My opponent is a Minuser. And they got nothing from it. Alright, so Cryptic or Bust is the name of the game here. Do they have the Cryptic? Double creatures, draw a card. So we're just gonna play Bajuki Bog here. Pass the turn. I don't want my opponent to be able to draw cards. Like, this remand is basically dead right here. And my opponent is going to be forced into the same exact scenario next turn. And we can also take up this Blast Zone. Still unclear whether I want to take up this Blast Zone on 3 or 4. Probably on 4. Like, this Ashiok isn't really doing too much. That BUG draw was not bad though. Most certainly. Udo. Well, if they have both Ashiok and Uro, then I'm probably gonna take this up to 3. Alright. Now they milled themselves, which is what they should have done in the previous one, but there's no way they had 2 draw steps and they found the Nexus again, right? Like that's just not a thing. Yeah, this is just not a thing. This is my opponent just going for the FOF. No big deal. No big deal at all. Not worried. Not worried whatsoever. They found... Wow. Alright. I mean, this is how my opponent wins. This is how they win this game. All right. Uro comes into play. Are they gonna chain another one? I mean, by another one, of course, I mean the same one, but... Clap. Crossline should have said, upon discard, loses 3 lives and sucks a land. That would have made it playable Magic. Yeah, exactly. That would have made it maybe similar power level to Uro. Yeah, this is just a little bit too underpowered, unfortunately. This is the exact same hand, except at least this one we can cast Explore on turn 2. Exact same fucking hand. I think I'm probably gonna keep this. That's really funny though, that we just mulliganed and it was the exact same hand twice in a row. Playing against Tron, so we probably have no shot this game. Yep, we definitely have no shot this game. More lands and spells. I always thought the Legacy lands was super interesting. Yep, I have tried playing Legacy lands style kind of decks in Modern. I've been doing that for a while. Terrible 7, passable 6. I mean, it's still not a great 6, but we can cast Explore on 2, right? Which is a big difference. Is there anything that I can call for? Not really. Just gonna explore and develop my game plan. Okay, so I guess this is like the highest EV play. So I am basically telling my opponent, don't have a card this turn. And if you don't, then I actually have a chance to get ahead. But if they do have the card this turn, then I'm probably just dead. Wormcoil Engine. Play a Wormcoil Engine. Wormcoil Engine! No! Oh, awesome. So we actually have a very real shot at winning this game. That's great. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. We actually have, yep, they are on Tron. So we might actually be ahead. We might actually be ahead right now. We might actually be ahead right now. Can E-Tron beat other decks? No, not realistically, no. All their wins are from the mirror. Oh, that's great. That is so good. That is so good. The Shadow versus E-Tron days were pretty fun. Yeah, everybody remembers the good old days fondly. It beat my Kitkin tribal once. Hey, Kitkin, top 8 at PT. Thank God it's Matter Reshaper. Yeah, that's not so. Oh, wow. Oh, no, opponent. Oh, no, opponent. But hey, at least they were mana efficient. Wait, they could have done this last turn and they didn't? I guess they could have done that last turn and they didn't. Feels the same when opponent tries to vote reclaim with two lands in the graveyard. Yeah, my favorite is when we had only one land in the graveyard, but our mana base is like something and another and one flagstones, and then you do the trick where you sacrifice the known flagstones land and you get another flagstone, so like they legend rule each other, and it very often comes accompanied by a concession. That has been my experience. It very often comes accompanied with a concession. It's pretty funny. Okay, so let's do this properly, which is we fetch first, get a basic forest, green, white, call. I think I'm supposed to call for Titan anyway. And now that resolves. Then we sack this. Yes. Let's get Sacred Foundry. What am I supposed to get here? Is it field? No, because I'm not getting any more zombies by getting field. I mean, I guess it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Oh, Tron, never change. Never change, Eldrazi Tron. Never change, Eldrazi Tron. It's also very nice to know that we don't have to worry about dismember. And we also don't have to worry about liquid metal coating. Or ensnare bridge for that matter. If you Vesuva a Blast Zone, does it get a counter? Yes, it does. Collect Roof is pretty good. Knight of Autumn's pretty good. Apparition, Raminap. Shave a couple of paths and cut a bog. Maybe cut an Explore. You need to use stage to not have a counter. Yep, that's accurate. Actually, I do like Explorer for a amount. Let's cut one more path. What's up, Ali? How's it going? We're shaving 3 drops for the Chalice and Siege strategy? Yeah. Yeah, it's almost really funny when you just... in your head, you're kind of trying to figure out how to beat the worst case scenario, which is your opponent having, you know, turn 3 Tron into Karn Liberated. And then they play like something like that, and it's just... like, it's just the greatest feeling. Onomatopoeia for what it says when it resolves. Yeah, oof, definitely presents a pretty solid amount of oofs. Oof is pretty... ooh, speaking of oof. Speaking of oof, yikes. Seems like my opponent got a tiny bit greedy. I was hoping for one, it was so much better for me. Yeah, I know, right? It's pretty funny. You know, Warping Whale me? Spatial Contortion. I think I'm just gonna call for another Reclaimer here. Just Reclaimer puts so much pressure on my opponent. And now that I drew the Dryad, this plays even better for me. Like, if my opponent doesn't play a removal spell here, they are literally just dead. I mean, not literally just dead, I guess. That's poor way of using my words. They are basically just dead. They are figuratively just dead. Blast on the map, yeah. I was 1 mana short, and I was also not gonna do that. Yeah, Reclaimer is such an awesome creature. Alright. So they have to take the Dryad here, or they lose. And by that I mean that, you know, they need to do the same again next turn, because we're going to call for another Dryad, so... except we're going to have even more mana next turn. Yeah, that's not the one. It's not the correct pick. At this point, I don't know how they're supposed to beat this. Take 4. Like, what do they, let's say that they have Dismember. What do they even kill here? They probably have to kill the Reclaimer. But then the Dryad just owns them. And they know about this Ramunap. Between a rock and a hard place, as they say. Oh. I guess let's play around all this dust. Face is the place. All right, all right. Opponent just getting Tron light. Oh wait, they died. Yeah, remember when I said that my opponent should have taken the Dryad? Yeah, that's what I meant. Where the last 2 Valaka triggers come from? We had a Ramunap in play, and the Ramunap just replayed the land from my graveyard that I just sacrificed. Three in face always. Always. You gotta make sure that you always aim properly, you know? Your opponent's face. I can't believe that game 1 I was like hoping that my opponent wouldn't kind of liberated me. Those were the times. Uh-oh, we're playing against Big Mike. Big Mike has Chief's number. Chief can never beat Big Mike. And Big Mike likes John style strategies. Big Mike has lately been playing some black-red. Some black-red mid-range strategies. So I guess I keep this. And I think I'm going to go turn 1, get a forest, turn 2, Vesuva, copy the forest. That means the Blood Moon doesn't really do anything. Yeah, okay, let's do that. I guess I'm going to see what they are doing first. Because if they show me, like, you know, like a black-green land, then I'm going to adapt. Dryad. Okay, so now that I drew that, I guess that I'd rather save. I'd rather save the Heath for something else. I'd rather save the Vesua for something else, sorry. So I imagine that they at least have one more Thoughtseize. Bob would suck for us here. Channeler is bad, but not as bad. Explore is pretty solid. Two lands. So let's play this. Let's play this. Still unclear whether we want to be fetching a forest or plains with this, so just gonna take it easy. The card's pretty legit. I like this card a lot. Happy to see him play now. So here goes the Blood Moon. We're totally gonna top deck exactly the white guy, but Apparition. It's gonna make me quite sad, but okay. So they kind of have to Thoughtseize me, otherwise Colossal Dreadmaw is gonna do a number on them. All right. Any land that we Dreadmaw them? Any land. Easy. 6/6, let's go. Vedete este stream cuando será. Bien. Bien. Let's get field and let's swing for 3. Gracias. Titan players always have it. Always. Every single time the Titan player has to have it. Nice. That's the sound that the Dreadmaw does. Wait, do I have? Give me a second. No, that's not it.
Hello? Hello?
Knock, knock.
Who's there? That's so funny. The last time I heard that, I laughed so hard I
So
felt like
bad.
a dinosaur.
I just want the sound of a dinosaur. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask, chat? Terrible. Terrible. I'm thinking about whether I want to path this. I think I do. And this works for the whole turn, so yeah, that's what I'm looking. I'm looking for a roar, you know, like that's the sound. That's the sound of a dinosaur right there. That's what I'm looking for. Is that too much to ask? Search Jurassic Park. But if I do that, it's gonna be like, welcome to Jurassic Park, or something like that. Now, oh, here we go. That's what I was looking for. Wait, can't I edit? Add to my sideboard. There we go. Found it. We have found it. We have found what we're looking for. Was this a spoiler? We do play some Sakapa Leagues too soon? No, not really. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Does Relic do anything in this matchup? I used to remember some lists playing on Earth and stuff. Relic also stops Croxa. Seems kind of medium to me. I think I'm gonna ship it. Let's do that. Is it bad that you're a D&T player in the stream? No, it's not bad at all. You know, you should play whatever makes you happy, SRAM. Folks for all streams are welcome here. Even those who are wrong. Even those who are wrong and play Death and Taxes. Everybody's welcome. How do mulligan decisions work with this deck? That's a good question. It's probably a long topic. Basically, what I always try to do is I want to try to have a plan. And depending on the matchup, obviously, that plan gets... it just adapts, right? So... Usually I... Oh, no. Oh, that was a huge punt. I was explaining something and I didn't play. I'm totally going to get mooned now and it's going to be terrible. I'm totally going to get mooned and it's going to be really sad. Oh, Skelemental. That's not great. I didn't bring in Ramen up. Okay, so... kind of dodge a bullet there. So I'm gonna call for Spring Bloom now. Basically, you want to have a path to a Titan, or I guess a path to a win, because very often the win doesn't come thanks to the Titan. It comes thanks to something else. That's the power of Elvish Reclaimer. So if I play Spring Bloom, yeah. So we play Spring Bloom, we sack this, we get 2 basic plains, and we get 2 basic forests, which is just like perfect mana under Blood Moon, which is great. This interaction is very, very, very powerful. And you see how like Springbloom Druid by itself kind of undid what my opponent was trying to do with that Skelemental guy. Let's call something else Field of the Day. Yeah, that sounds accurate to me. Another Skelemental. Okay. We're gonna be in everything but the Titan. We are down to 5. But if we find any land here, we're gonna be okay. Feels bad, man. Let's draw a line like last game. Yeah, it would have been great. Would have been so great to draw a land there. Now we might be in trouble. If not straight up dead, right? Oh, Inquisition, a close select. Sure. Land off the top. One time. Land off the top. Land. That makes me so sad. That just makes me so sad. Now they're gonna get a Croxa. We have to basically throw this Path to Exile to the Croxa. Feels bad. Do they still run an Earth? I don't think so. But still, the path to victory is this Primeval Titan, right? Like it's not this Path to Exile. So I could play to win, or I could play to not lose, and I'm gonna play to win. Again, any land off the top, any untapped land off the top, that is, and we just slam this and this Croxa. All right, now we lose to it. Brutal, brutal. All right, I guess maybe we do want the relics. Let's do this. You could block on this card. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could, but it's fine. So Davis play this deck, run a tap lane that produces mana on a TV. Yeah, that's Crumbling Vestige. That used to be like an older. It used to be tech from back in the day. It's fine. What are we doing here? I think I'm exploring. It allows for more permutations later. It's kind of a terrible draw though, unfortunately. The downside is that it means that this Reclaimer dies to Lightning Bolt now. It would have died to Lightning Bolt anyway, but... okay, I guess it doesn't die to Lightning Bolt anymore. Pretty good draw, pretty good draw. So they have to moon me here. Or I guess Skelemental would also hurt. Season Pyro loses. Alright, so we just win. Wow, they had Bob on 2 and they went with Croxa instead. This is definitely a mistake. Bob is in the very short list of cards that basically any Titan deck is scared to death of. So my opponent not going for the Bob there, it's honestly kind of a massive mistake. If they had the Bob, like if that was exactly their draw for turn, then you know, whatever. But if they had the Bob and they decided to go for Croxa instead, then that was a huge mistake. Oh, okay. Field is already in place, so I'm just gonna get Bog and basic plains. We already have 2 basic forests, so we don't need that. So we're definitely getting Bog and I guess it Valakut? Yeah, because there's nothing I'm really killing here, so it could be a fetch land. Yeah, I guess let's get a fetch land actually. Unfortunately, we can't get another Flagstones, because if we get another Flagstones, we don't get to trigger field. And now I guess this is a fine attack. Like, they could surgical one of my lands, but if they surgical one of my lands, whatever. Just went 3-1 Reclaimer, Legacy Reclaimer and LGS on webcam. Beat Karn Echoes, banned Stoneblade, and DNT. Lost to Yorion. DNT deck is so fun. Yep. I like that deck a lot. Show me that Boil, opponent. Show me that Boil that you brought in, and obviously it's just terrible because it doesn't do anything. Oh. You got the surgical. No surgical. Alright. How many zombies is too many zombies? Those are the kind of questions that keep me up at night sometimes. How many zombies is too many zombies? Why are the M11 Titans the correct Titans? Yeah, in fact, I have the wrong Titans here. I have the correct ones in paper, but I have the wrong ones here because when I was just getting into Moto, I wanted to get the cheaper ones, and these were like a tick cheaper. I have no idea why. But yeah, M11 are always the correct Titans because the original art always is better than any alternate arts. Corlin to Moto 257. Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Yeah, that actually has been a strategy that I think it has been working out pretty well for me. It's against like John style decks where your Valakut plan is completely unnecessary because Field of the Dead is your main plan. Then what I have been doing is just cyberling out a couple of Dryads, and it basically obviously makes their boils blank, right? So it's a lot easier to play around Boil when you don't have to draw your Dryads against the Boil decks. Sure, let's keep this. Playing against Yorion. You don't play against Yorion often in Modern. Interested in what my opponent's gonna be doing out there. They're gonna be molding it into 5. That's what they're gonna be doing. Isn't the same art M11 and M12? Yeah, it is the same art. It is exactly the same art. So there's kind of no difference. But I always, whenever given the chance, I always would rather play with the original art of things. Okay. Gonna name Giant. So I guess that this is just Death and Taxes. Oh, Spirit is what we have to name. That's true. So if we find any untap land, we're gonna be in really good shape, which is nice because I'm planning on sacrificing this to get a Flagstones. It sucks if my opponent plays an Arbiter. Okay, second vial doesn't do anything. Sweet. Alright, so any untap land would be great because it would allow me to really develop my mana untap land. But I'm not gonna risk it. That's not an untap land. Okay, so I think I'm gonna Spring Bloom. Spring Bloom, sack Flagstones, and have a bunch of mana, so we literally do not care about Arbiter. Forest Plains. Here we're getting Temple Garden. Now next turn the zombie apocalypse begins. Winning is overrated, casting Gitrog isn't. That's a great quote. Whoever said that, I like them. That was probably me. That sounds like something I would say. Yorion, Gitrog, Reclaimer, Titan. Good one. So now activating Reclaimer costs 4. So I think I'm not even going to activate Reclaimer here. I think I'm just going to call. And I guess if I'm going to call, I should do it right now. Like, it's bad if they have exactly second Ghost Quarter. Nah, no, we can do it at upkeep. We can do it in upkeep. I think that's the correct line. Because what I don't want to happen is I don't want to get got by like a Mind Sensor or a second I guess we get got by second Arbiter, but like Ghost, I don't want to get got by Ghost Quarter or something like that. So gonna do this. We're gonna pay for Arbiter. That pays for the turn, and then I call right here, and I guess then we're gonna call for Dryad. And then Dryad should be able to win thanks to this. And now we're paying for Arbiter for the entire turn. So if they draw Ghost Quarter, like, we don't really care. Three mana on end step. What are they gonna do? Skyclave Apparition, the Reclaimer. You got it. Play this. Let's explore. Let's try it. Let's do this. So now we just need to draw kind of anything at all. If they find like a Stoneforge or something and they get to go off with, oof, Bile goes up to 3? That's weird. So that means that they have double 3-drops. So they probably have Wisp. Yeah, so Wisp for the Apparition, that's fine. We have another Dryad. And we already got value from this Dryad, so that's nice too. Yeah, I don't think that strip mining them is pretty... I don't think it's worth it. I wonder if they have another Wisp and they're gonna do the trick, and that's why they... yeah. Okay, so now I guess I don't play this Dryad this turn. And I force my opponent to exile the Spring Bloom, which is kind of whatever. Anything good? Prime time? Radium Fountain. At this point, if they happen to tap out for something, it becomes a little bit more exciting to strip mine them. Probably still won't do it. That Yorion is becoming pretty threatening though. So I would love to draw something, well, anything good here. Anything would be good would be great. I guess we can even have like Blast Zone. Drawing Blast Zone would be kind of insane actually. Even Vesuva to copy my opponent Blast Zone would be okay. But this Yorion is really threatening with this Vial on 5 next turn. Still scrying a thing in these types of decks? Not really. See, Blasphemous, you consider playing Tron cards? No, it's fine. I played Blasto. I played Scrying in an Amulet, I think, in the past. Test Ren. I tried Ren. It's pretty bad. It just asks too much of your mana. Something good, please. Blast Zone, Reclaimer. Shit. I'm actually gonna lose this game. I am actually gonna lose this game. Wow, okay. Maybe I don't lose now. Yeah, I don't understand why they block with Apparition. The block with Apparition was really, really bad. So they're gonna get Yorion. Now they can use Yorion. And unless they top deck exactly a second Apparition, I think that we're in okay shape. So we take 6. No! No! They top deck exactly another Apparition. Wow! 69 cards in their deck. And they literally top deck the perfect one. The perfect 3-of. No other card does it. Literally no other card does it. And they top deck the one after punting the game away. Wow. Alright, my opponent's too good. Can't beat it. Can't beat my opponent. Too strong. Yeah, I guess Titan or... No, Titan doesn't do it anymore because the Apparition is gonna eat the Dryad. So Titan doesn't... I don't think I have any top decks anymore. I don't think I have any top decks anymore. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess... Yeah. Titan... Yeah, Titan might have made it because I could have drawn Titan into something else. Wow, opponent throws away the game. Never punished. Just top decks their one outer. Wins the game. Brutal. They knew there was one on top, so they blocked that. Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, that's it. We cracked the code. Crack the code. Oh man, that feels so bad to get just luck sacked out of the game like that. That is awful. Feels so bad. What's luck sack? It's like a luck sack, but written funny. The worst part is I had so many outs too. Opponent moves to 5 again. Let's see if they are going to top deck the perfects once more. Point is a gamer, they had 69 cards and they knew sometimes, yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. It just feels bad. Stoneforge, a Mystic. So here we're just gonna do everything on main phase because of Mind Sensor. Go to planes. I think we're gonna get a Field of the Dead. Just gonna call for a Dryad. We do have to win this game. We do have to win. Archon of Emeria. This is a Dryad. This is a Valakut. That's a dead Archon of Emeria. Okay, on the draw it's gonna be rough. On the draw it's gonna be rough. Our Valakut enter tapped. Feels bad, man. Sure. So it's definitely a slow hand, but it's pretty robust, which is nice. Wow, opponent just expert vial drawer. How has Boil been for me? I mean, it's good when you get paired against blue decks. If you don't get paired against blue decks, it's not very good. It's one of the most how can I say? It's one of the most obvious cards in the deck, I think. In terms of like, there's no middle ground with Boil. It's basically a 10 or a 1, and there's no in betweens. The card is never a 6 or a 7, you know? It's like, it's either completely game winning by itself, completely busted, or literally unplayable. I think I'm gonna call for Titan right now, actually. Stay named Reclaimer, so Reclaimer's not doing much, but this is bad if they have exactly. They will need to have exactly Arbiter into Ghost Quarter. Field of Ruin is fine. Do they have the Arbiter or not? So like you said, everyone is playing ball, everyone and their mom is playing ball. If I'm honest, I think you only have yourself to blame for creating a top tier. I mean, it's only a matter of like context, right? Like the best deck in the format actually really struggles with the card Boil, so everybody wants to play Boil. Like it's only logical if you think about it. Ooh. It's kind of a very good one. So it effectively answers the Vial in a way. Spellskite. But we have Path. Lol. Mind Sensor. Ha! Got him. Let's pass here. Yeah, they can't activate the Skite. Wow, that Collector Roof is kind of ridiculous right here. That was a big oof. In the best possible way that I can mean it. What am I getting here? Plains? I kind of want a green source. Let's get a green source. Thalia. Interested in why they still have Thalia in their deck. And that was a heck of a draw. So unless they have exactly another Mind Sensor here. My opponent has been known for being an avid top decker. I love that Stony Silence is now a green creature. It has been good. Like, it has been good. The fact that you can scene it for it in Legacy has been kind of amazing. The fact that you can scene it for it, it's kind of a huge deal. So I want to stay up a Yorion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do some of this. Only thing that can punish me here is exactly Path to Exile. Which my opponent might have, and that's why they're thinking here. Maybe that's why they're tanking here. All right. Man, it feels good to get a 5-0 after, well, a lot of losing. For a second there, I thought that we were gonna get gotten by the Taxes deck, but remember when Flaxlands was a really just the silly line you put in your mono white deck so you could get a nationally thing beverage, if I remember. Yeah, I know, those were the days. Originally played Flagstones in Legacy D&T because it was cute combo with Cataclysm. Yeah, that was like the reason that people played Flagstones. The other reason was with Smallpox. So Smallpox plus Flagstones plus Urborg was a combo. And then what's the other one? Boom Bust. Boom Bust is the other one. But yeah, like this card really, like this synergy honestly cannot be understated. Like this synergy is completely busted. It can win games on its own because of the existence of Field of Dead. But it's kind of great that you don't even need to hit your land drops. You just need to, for your Reclaimer to not die, and you're fine. This spell doesn't have Sakama or follow the Tron. That's true. The inferior deck. The inferior deck. Anyway, feels definitely great to finally have end up with a winning record. This has not been a good season for me. 5 trophies is definitely on the very low end. Like I have had seasons where I had like 24 or something like that, and that's definitely not this one. Definitely not this season. But yeah, again, if I had a competitive event, I would play this deck. I don't know if this exact list, like the Spirit of the Labyrinth was kind of irrelevant. This card was like we basically never brought it in, so maybe that probably means that we shouldn't be playing it. Maybe this is just better off as an Eidolon of Rhetoric. I don't know. Just like something against combo. Like that was a thinking about this card. It's just something against combo, but we just didn't get paired against any of the combo decks, so who knows. Pioneer Reclaimer, less Reclaimer. That's the best. That's the best deck name ever. It's still called Pioneer Reclaimer here, even though no Reclaimers. Spirit of Labyrinth was good in previous leagues. Not in the ones where I played it. When I played it, I don't think I brought it in even a single time. Like we brought it in, we put it in the list after losing to Belcher, and somebody suggested in chat that Spirit of Labyrinth is pretty great against their combo kill. So that's kind of what sparked the idea. And then I started thinking about decks like Ad Nauseam and a bunch of decks like that, and Spirit of the Labyrinth kind of made sense of it against those. But then we didn't get it paired against any, so I don't think we ever brought it in. Like I would bring it in against control decks that don't play red and 6, but I would not bring it against any other kind of control deck. Tig is just bad. Like Tig is just bad. Isn't Tig better versus both of decks? No, because against both of those decks, your opponent can, first of all, both of those decks can win through a Tig. And second of all, your opponent can draw and set themselves up for that. Like, while you have a Tig in play, your opponent can still cast all of their cantrips. They can still, use the Fairy 3 to bounce, like all of that stuff. So they can basically draw towards their answers, while Spirit doesn't allow for that to happen. So if you have Spirit in play, like your opponent has to have the answer in hand, or otherwise, that's it. Like there's nothing they can do. Tig is good against Tron. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And like it's a matter of how can I explain this? It's a matter of, do you want to force your opponent to have the answer in hand, or have the combo in hand and not be able to cast it? Or do you want your opponent to just, like when your opponent goes to a Cyber that game, they are likely to have answers for your hate pieces, right? It's not like I expect to play against Ad Nauseam and just play Tig and I expect that my opponent is going to scoop the game. That's just not how it works. Like your opponent is going to be thinking about that, and they're going to be saying, okay, so I guess that I'm going to be bringing in, like Thoughtseize, Fatal Pushes, Lightning Bolts, whatever. Like in the case of Storm, Lightning Bolts. So like they're gonna have stuff that they're gonna be able to use to answer the Tig. So what Tig does is it just sits there, and then your opponent cantrips and cantrips and cantrips and cantrips, And then eventually they find an answer to the Teague and they kill it. So what the Spirit does is your opponent needs to have the answer or they lose, right? Like they need to naturally have the answer for this, or they need to naturally have the everything they need in order to combo off, but they can't have anything in between because they can't like cantrip into it. Like Serum Visions doesn't do anything, and like etc. So I'm not saying that this card is great. I'm not saying that this card is better than Teague, and I am not saying that you should play Teague. I'm not saying any of those cards. I'm just explaining the reasoning for playing this over Teague. And I'm also trying a card because I tried Teague and I actively did not like it. So I ended up cutting Teague anyway. So it's just a matter of I wanted to try a new card like Spirit of the Labyrinth, kind of to see what's up, just to feel something, you know? But yeah. Alright, ended the stream with a 5-0, which feels pretty good. That's gonna be it for me today, folks. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.